Welcome history enthusiasts to Medieval Chronicles 1066. Today, we're delving into the intriguing mystery surrounding the Norman Conquest and how it forever altered the course of English history. This pivotal event in 1066 was not just a simple change of rulers. It was a profound transformation that reshaped the cultural, political, and social landscape of England. Get ready for an epic journey through one of the most significant events of the medieval era. In 1066, England was rocked by the Norman Conquest led by the formidable William the Conqueror. This pivotal event shaped the future of the English nation in profound ways. But what exactly happened, and how did this conquest leave an indelible mark on English history? Let's find out. We will explore the intricate web of events, battles, and strategies that led to William's triumph and the subsequent transformation of England. The stage was set for a dramatic conflict after the death of Edward the Confessor, the last Anglo-Saxon king of England. Edward died childless in January 1066, leaving a power vacuum that several contenders sought to fill. Harald Godwinson, a powerful noble and the Earl of Wessex, was quickly crowned king by the Witenagemot, the Council of Nobles. However, his claim was contested by two formidable rivals, Harald Hardrada, the King of Norway, and William, the Duke of Normandy. William the Conqueror, as he would later be known, claimed that Edward had promised him the throne and that Harald had sworn an oath to support his claim. This oath, allegedly taken when Harald was shipwrecked in Normandy, became a critical point of contention. William faced immense challenges in mounting an invasion, including rallying support from his vassals and securing the necessary ships and supplies. The clash of cultures and power struggles that ensued would set the stage for a monumental transformation in England. To understand the Norman Conquest, we must delve into the tactics employed by William during the decisive Battle of Hastings and the subsequent establishment of Norman rule in England. William spent much of 1066 preparing for his invasion. He gathered a fleet of ships and an army composed of knights, archers, and infantry from Normandy and other regions in France. His forces were well-equipped and trained, reflecting the military prowess of the Normans. Meanwhile, Harald Godwinson faced his own challenges. After being crowned king, he had to defend his throne from multiple threats. In September 1066, Harald Hardrada, the King of Norway, invaded northern England with the support of Harald's estranged brother, Tostig. Harald too marched his army north and achieved a stunning victory at the Battle of Stamford Bridge on September 25, 1066, effectively ending the Norwegian threat. However, this victory came at a high cost. Harald's forces were exhausted and depleted, and he had little time to rest before facing a new threat from the south. On October 14, 1066, the Norman and Anglo-Saxon armies clashed near Hastings. William's forces, composed of knights, archers, and infantry, faced Harold's battle-hardened troops. The battle was fierce and brutal, lasting all day. The English army, composed mainly of infantry and a formidable shield wall, held a strong defensive position on Senlac Hill. William's strategic brilliance shone through as he employed a series of tactical maneuvers to break the English lines. Early in the battle, the Norman archers launched volleys of arrows at the English shield wall, but these had little effect. William then ordered his infantry to advance, followed by his cavalry. Despite repeated charges, the English line held firm. The turning point came when William resorted to a feigned retreat, a classic tactic designed to lure the enemy into a vulnerable position. Believing that the Normans were retreating in disarray, some English soldiers broke ranks to pursue them. This moment of disorder was precisely what William had hoped for. The Norman cavalry wheeled around and attacked the now exposed English troops, causing significant casualties. The climactic moment came late in the day when King Harald II was struck down, purportedly by an arrow to the eye, leading to the collapse of Anglo-Saxon resistance. With Harold's death, William seized the English crown, marking a turning point in English history. The Battle of Hastings was not just a military triumph but a decisive moment that ushered in a new era. Following the Battle of Hastings, William faced the arduous task of consolidating his power. His victory at Hastings did not mean immediate control over all of England. Many regions still resisted Norman rule. To secure his reign, William embarked on a campaign of subjugation and consolidation. He marched towards London, encountering resistance along the way. Eventually, the city submitted, and William was crowned King of England on Christmas Day, 1066, in Westminster Abbey. To maintain control, William implemented a series of measures that reshaped English society and governance. He began by constructing castles and fortifications across England. These castles, including the iconic Tower of London, served as military strongholds and administrative centers, helping to enforce Norman authority. The castles also symbolized the new order and served as a constant reminder of Norman dominance. One of the most significant changes introduced by William was the feudal system. This hierarchical system of land ownership and obligations replaced the existing Anglo-Saxon system. Under feudalism, all land in England was considered the property of the king. William granted large estates to his most loyal supporters, the Norman nobles, in exchange for military service and loyalty. The introduction of the feudal system had profound implications for English society. It restructured the social hierarchy, with the king at the top, followed by powerful barons, knights, and peasants. This system of mutual obligations and responsibilities helped to solidify Norman control and integrate the new ruling class with the existing population. The Norman Conquest also brought significant changes to English governance and law. William implemented Norman administrative practices, which were more centralized and efficient than the Anglo-Saxon system. The introduction of the Domesday Book in 1086 exemplified this shift. This comprehensive survey recorded landholdings, resources, and population, providing a detailed account of the wealth and assets of the kingdom. The Domesday Book served as a valuable tool for tax collection and governance, reflecting the meticulous nature of Norman administration. In terms of law, the Normans introduced new legal practices while preserving some elements of Anglo-Saxon law. The fusion of these traditions laid the groundwork for the development of English common law. The establishment of royal courts and the use of writs helped to standardize legal proceedings and ensure a degree of consistency in the administration of justice. The cultural and linguistic impact of the Norman Conquest was profound. The Normans brought with them their language, Norman French, which became the language of the ruling elite and the courts. Over time, this linguistic influence permeated various aspects of English society, contributing to the development of Middle English. Many French words related to law, governance, art, and cuisine entered the English vocabulary, enriching the language and reflecting the blending of cultures. Architecture also saw significant changes with the introduction of Romanesque styles, characterized by rounded arches, thick walls, and sturdy pillars. Norman architecture left a lasting legacy, with numerous churches, cathedrals, and castles built in this distinctive style. These structures not only served practical purposes, but also symbolized the authority and cultural influence of the Normans. Despite William's efforts to consolidate his power, resistance to Norman rule persisted. Several rebellions erupted across England in the years following the conquest. The most notable of these was the revolt of the Earls in 1075, led by disgruntled Anglo-Saxon nobles and some disaffected Norman lords. William responded with characteristic ruthlessness, quelling the rebellion and further tightening his grip on the kingdom. The Harrying of the North, conducted between 1069 and 1070, was another brutal campaign to suppress resistance. William's forces devastated large swathes of northern England, burning villages, killing inhabitants, and destroying crops. This campaign effectively crushed opposition but left a legacy of destruction and suffering in the affected regions. The Norman Conquest left a lasting impact on English culture, language, and society. The fusion of Norman and Anglo-Saxon traditions shaped the identity of England for centuries to come. The architectural legacy of Norman castles, the linguistic influences of the Norman French, and the evolution of English governance all bear testament to this transformative period. The Norman Conquest also laid the groundwork for the development of a unified English state. The centralization of power, the establishment of a feudal system, and the integration of Norman and Anglo-Saxon cultures all contributed to the formation of a more cohesive and resilient nation. The climax of the Norman conquest undoubtedly occurred during the Battle of Hastings. The defeat of Harald II and the subsequent coronation of William the Conqueror on Christmas Day 1066 were defining moments. William's victory was not just a military triumph but a catalyst for profound cultural and societal change. The Norman conquest left a lasting impact on English culture, language, and society. The fusion of Norman and Anglo-Saxon traditions shaped the identity of England for centuries to come. The architectural legacy of Norman castles, the linguistic influences of the Norman French, and the evolution of English governance all bear testament to this transformative period. The Norman conquest also laid the groundwork for the development of a unified English state. The centralization of power, the establishment of a feudal system, and the integration of Norman and Anglo-Saxon cultures all contributed to the formation of a more cohesive and resilient nation. If you're as captivated by history as we are, make sure to hit that like button, share this video with fellow history buffs, and subscribe for more epic historical adventures. Stay tuned for more fascinating explorations of intriguing historical topics on our channel. And there you have it, the epic journey through the secrets of the Norman conquest. Until next time, keep exploring the depths of history.